Welcome to Doing the Most with me, Cynthia Mallard. Look at you. We are back in the spot. Look at you. You showed up. So you must have heard something, saw something that you really, really loved. Again, I'm your host, Cynthia Mallard. We are here to what? Connect, inspire, motivate. And we do this every single week, right? So guys, we are rolling along in Black History Month, and I have a treat for you today. Oh my goodness. I'm always excited every week, right? But today it's even more special because we are bringing to you, I'm bringing to you, as promised, people that you should know, people that we should shine a light on. So without, without further ado, look at who is on the show today, guys. Look at this. Look at this. I want to introduce you guys to Mr. Bryant Brewer, attorney, head of legal, global corporate executive and vice president of legal, and corporate secretary of Hardinge Inc. Welcome to Doing the Most, Bryant.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, hello. I did not finish, guys. Let me tell you, it is such an honor, Brian, just to have you here again, guys. This is an attorney. He is head of legal for, like I said, an international global company, Hardinge Inc., worth over $300 million. Did I say that right, Brian?
That is correct.
That
That is
is
correct.
absolutely. So I just want to say happy Black History Month, 365 days a year to you.
Yes, indeed. Every day.
Every single day. I was just, we were talking off air, and I just was asking, like, what is it like? Like, what was your day like today? Waking up.
Yeah, we as lawyers, we don't generally have just a regular day, right? We have our day planned before we get up. We think about the things that we're going to do. But as soon as we step into the office, things change. Our clients call us, our clients stop by the office and have things that they want us to do. So we jump on those things and really put our to-do list to the side and
Yeah.
work on those things. Yeah.
I gotta ask you, how long have you been an attorney? I can imagine you kind of climbed the ladder, kind of jumped around, as all professions do.
Yeah, that's a great question. So for me, I've been practicing this year. I have to add it up in my mind. 23 years this year.
Wow.
So I started as a law clerk, worked for a judge for a year, and then I practiced some civil litigation and did that for about 8 years with some major firms.
Wow.
Uh, they call them AmLaw 100 firms. I did some work with them for a while, and then I moved in-house and I've been in-house ever since, in-house with corporations. So I worked for corporations all the way up to Fortune 1 companies. So it's been an amazing career.
Now, I understand now, I had to do my homework, of course. Now, I understand like the company that you're at now, the Hardinge Global, right? Now,
Right.
it's like you're working on behalf of what, 65 countries, six continents. You have like over what, 8 to 10 brands that are under Hardinge. Is that correct, or?
That is correct. We have several entities that fall within the Harnage brand. We primarily manufacture major equipment
Mm.
and products that are manufactured from that equipment. So we deal with a lot of things that people on the everyday life won't deal with, but we deal with those things that the major corporations deal with every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Brian, I have to, like I said, doing my homework, and, what's it been like? We'll just, jump into like, what's it been like to be this amazing who's who, this person that everyone turns to be who you are. What is that like? Let's just start out there.
It is a different experience, Cynthia. For me, coming from, uh, I won't say poverty, but coming from low income, growing up
Mm.
in the inner city of Indianapolis, and then moving on to ultimately go to join the military and do that for a couple of years, and then go to undergraduate school at Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana,
Yeah.
and then ultimately go back to Indiana and go to law school. It's been amazing to me. But you know what? When you talk about Black history at the beginning of the conversation, I'm
Yeah.
standing on the shoulders of all those that were before me. Especially, we talk about those names that everyone knows, but I'm
Yeah, of
standing on the
course.
shoulders of my dad. My dad, my mom and my dad, they taught me at an early age about working hard and building that work ethic. I saw my dad, who has a seventh grade school education, will go to work every day.
Yeah.
And when I say every day, I don't think he missed a day of work the
Mm.
entire time I was a kid. He was up at 5 o'clock in the morning driving to work every
Wow.
day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Brian, so many, I'm sure our audience wants to know, like, you talk about all the different careers that you've had, which is amazing. How did you end up with law? Like, was that a long-term thing you were shooting for? Did it just kind of tap you on the shoulder?
That's another great question though, Cynthia. So for me, I this is gonna be funny to you, but my
Okay.
dad, my dad is also a Baptist minister. So I'm a PK, right? And
Preacher
I
kid.
knew
Oh, y'all heard that preacher kid here. Okay.
and I knew that I didn't want to be a preacher, right? I knew that I wanted to be an advocate, but not a preacher.
Wow.
And as I was growing up, all of these law shows were on, right? And I was thinking about Blair Underwood in the show that he was in growing up, and I was thinking, maybe I can be a lawyer. Yeah, let me think about that. And I loved arguing and I loved writing growing up. So I said, well, let me figure out this part about writing, and then we'll take the step of being a lawyer, and then that's what led me to go to law school.
Wow. Where did you go to law school?
Indiana University in Indianapolis, Indiana. I ultimately graduated from law school in 1999.
Top of the
Yep,
class, middle of the class. I mean, it don't really matter, but probably, but
I graduated.
hey, that's all that matters, right?
That's it. And I passed the bar. So I'm thankful for that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank God, right? Well,
That's right.
Brian, I will tell you guys, among being the who's who internationally, guys, I cannot tell you, and like I said, I've done a little research. It's kind of what I do. All of the circles that you are included in, and all the circles that you have to jump in and jump out of. You are a master. It seems like you are an amazing chameleon, right? There are so many, I know me, you, and and imagine in your career, you run across like young people, even older people, right? I can
Hmm.
imagine, going through this career, it wasn't like gravy train. I mean, you kind of hinted on it a little bit earlier. But what were some of the things like I feel like that you had to like overcome? Because like I know, like even in my profession, like in media, there were certain things that I had to go through, right?
Oh yeah.
And it's like a testimony. Like I tell younger people who want to get into the business or whatever, like these are the things that you're going to have to navigate. And some of them almost took me out. So with you, I can imagine, can you just share with us, some of those things that in this profession, or maybe just general in life, right? That you had to
Sure.
get through to be
Sure.
Bryant Brewer that I'm talking to right now.
Oh yeah. Going to law school was great. And it really helped me build a career. The one thing that law school doesn't teach you is truly about building relationships. And it teaches you the business of law, right?
Mm,
But it doesn't teach you how to build and maintain relationships. A lot of us get really locked in on the book knowledge
wow.
and not really work towards building and maintaining those relationships. And that's something that I did early in my career, working even before I went to law school, is building relationships with people. Because as long as you build those relationships, and it's not about you doing something for someone or someone doing something for you. Because a lot of people think that's an opportunist mentality, which it
Oh,
is in some aspect. But the other way is you want to build that relationship so that you can talk to that person about anything at any time, and you really want to have that sponsor, that someone that you can talk to that really has the juice to help you in your career, and you can help them in their career as well. And that's exactly what I did early in my career, building those relationships and maintaining them, and still have them now with individuals that I worked with in the past that I can just go back and talk to about anything. It's really important. And it's good to, when I say maintaining those relationships, Cynthia, I'm talking about not just talking to them every year, right?
Right.
Trying to just continue to have that and mesh that relationship with them on a really monthly, quarterly, semi-annual basis, to where that you can reach out to them. And sometimes if they're local, or if you're local, having dinner with them every now and then, just to see
Wow.
how they're
Wow.
doing,
Yeah.
and really learning and understanding them as a person, separate and distinct from working with them. Yeah, because I call it the refrigerator of goodwill, right?
I've never heard that one. Uh-oh.
You build that refrigerator, and then when you open it, it feeds you back on a daily basis. Because once you build that refrigerator, individuals want to continue to maintain that relationship with you. Yeah, it's really important.
Yeah, it is. Bryant, you bring up an amazing point about relationships. Relationships will take you. I think about, and I think we've had this conversation. You could be the best in the world. Like you said, you can, have the 5.0 or whatever it is, right? 4.0.
Exactly.
You could be the best at the best, but if you don't have a relationship, I mean, you're in your house with that 4.0, right?
Exactly. Well, it's one thing that I did learn really early in my career, and this was before law school. The majority of the things that you're going to get in life come from who you know,
Mm,
not what you know. And when I
mm.
say the majority, I'm talking about 50 to 75% of the things that you're going to do in this life. So building and maintaining those relationships are really important. And they're separate and distinct, like I said earlier, from the book knowledge. I mean, we get that book knowledge in school, right? But getting that book knowledge doesn't help you when you come out here and you are a practitioner and you're working every day doing those things. I mean, you know this yourself, having been in the broadcasting industry and working in the things that you've done in your life. I see that you have your Delta pin on.
Of
So
course.
that's really important, right? So for me, you have your pin on. I have my band on to show, look, and where this everywhere I go, everything that I do, that's one thing that people can't take from me is you're a Delta, I'm a Kappa. I'm going to be a Kappa until the day I die.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, as a Black man at this company, and throughout all the companies that you've had, um, is there pressure? Is there pressure? I mean, along those race lines, even in, what you do, have you experienced it? Tell us, give us some advice in navigating that, or how have you done that, especially during this time?
There's definitely pressure. That's the one thing that I talk to my sons about every day. I have to prove myself every day because, I'm only as good as my last assignment, the last thing that I worked on. So that pressure comes not just externally from other people, but it comes internally for me because I want to make sure that the things that I do, that the next person that comes along doesn't be judged in a negative way by something that I did previously. So
Mm,
I am trying to do my best job every day. And I have to do things twice as hard
mm.
as someone that doesn't look like me. That's the way that I feel about it. So I have to make sure that everything that I do is on the up and up, and there are no um, missteps in any way.
No
And if there
gray
is a
areas
misstep,
there, right?
and then if there is a misstep, I have to make sure that I say what that misstep is and correct it,
Yeah.
so that everyone is aware that, okay, Brian knows exactly what's going on, and he is credible, and he has the character, and he'll tell me exactly how he feels about what he did and didn't do. That's important. So
Yeah.
when you make a mistake, it's important to put up front that you made a mistake.
It absolutely. You already told us that relationships are like super important. And I always say, Brian and I say, relationships are just important across the board. It doesn't matter if, your mentor is a cook. I mean, you can tell me how you feel about it. Your mentor could be a cook and you could be an engineer. Like, I always feel like you can learn something from everyone.
Oh, that's definitely true. I mean, you hit the nail on the head right there. I mean, the one thing that really stuck with me is there was a there was a picture a few years ago about Barack Obama leaving the White House, and the janitor was standing there as he was leaving, and he stood there and he had a conversation with that janitor. And I said, you know what? That's me. When I'm in the office and the janitor comes in my office and the janitor is cleaning my office or taking out the trash, I want to have a conversation with them. You're not bigger than anybody just because of your title. Your title means nothing. So there's something that the CEO for TIA said now, and it sits with me, and that is your title is on loan,
Mm,
right?
mm.
But who you are as a person is something that sticks with you. Yeah,
Oh,
you are just borrowing that title.
Bryant,
Yeah.
Bryant. Oh my goodness. You got to run that thing back. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? You got to say that at least one more time.
Oh yeah, your title is on loan, it's for sure. It is. It is. We just have that on a temporary basis. But who we are, our character sticks with us forever. Yeah,
But how do you
definitely.
separate that? I know we talked just a little bit, like, because a lot of people feel like, they are their jobs. We run into lots of professionals who they do this, you know them to be, separate, but a lot of people will assume this is my job and this is who I am. Is that acceptable? Like, what's your view about that? Like,
That's not the way that I see it. The way that I see it is this is barbershop talk now, right?
yeah,
But the way that I actually see it is the person that I am, right, is totally separate and distinct from the title that I carry every day. So even though I'm a lawyer, before I was a lawyer, who was I? I
ooh,
was Bryant. I was Bryant. And I'm gonna always be Bryant, right? To the day I die. If for some reason I get disbarred, which God forbid that I will, uh, I'm still going to be Bryant,
yeah,
right? So for me, I base who I am, my purpose in life, um, on my spirituality, my belief, my faith in God,
wow.
and that leads me to say, okay, before I'm anything else, I'm Bryant Lee Brewer, and I'm going to be Bryant Lee Brewer. And I told you before that I'm a Kappa,
Yeah,
but you know what? Before I'm a Kappa, once again, I'm Bryant. Kappa doesn't make me.
absolutely.
I'm going to be Bryant regardless. And I know that you'll say the same thing. Delta doesn't make you, but you are a Delta.
I am.
Delta Sigma Theta.
You know,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, Brian, God, um, what makes you happy? Of course, I've seen you in several different circles, and like I said, you kind of like you're a chameleon in different circles. What truly makes Bryant happy? Like I said, we're rolling through Black History Month. This is a time that we spotlight those amazing individuals such as yourself that we all need to know about.
Well, the big thing for me is family. And really taking care of family. And I'm a giver. I've been a giver all my life, right? So I'm not one to want or need or try to have things. I'm more of spending time with my family,
Right.
and when I'm not working, trying to do things, extracurriculars to keep my mind occupied and take me away from work. And I read all the time, so I try my best not to read when I'm not working because that's what I do as I work every day.
On a daily basis, right? So, what are
I'm
some of your extracurricular activities? Like, give us some things that Brian get down with.
Oh, I love running. I love to roller skate. And I think you know that I do. I love to roller skate. So I grew up roller
Absolutely.
skating.
We are we are
With
we are fellow rollers. So for those of you who are just joining, we are fellow rollers. Yes, we do roller skate, but if you are for real, and you play no games, then you roll.
Oh yeah, yeah. Quad skates, not inline skates or roller blades.
Right.
These are true roller skates, right? Yeah, I grew up roller skating, and I'm gonna be roller skating for the rest of my life.
Me also, it's amazing how like Bryant, like of course, like I said, you're in these different professional circles, and it's the least thing that people think. And you can tell me if you get the same reaction. I may be at dinner or I may be like whatever, right? And I'm like, yeah, I gotta go. I gotta hit the rink, and they're like, the rink, like what are you talking? I'm like, I roll, like I skate, and they're like, how old are you?
I get that same question. I say, well, I'm going skating, and people say, you doing what? I'm going skating. I say, yeah, I'm going skating. Where do you skate? I said, well, there are a few places here in Atlanta where I go skating, but I have my skates in my car. You do what? Oh yeah, my skates are in my car. I have them in a bag in my car. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you told us, of course, you are a proud member of Kappa Alpha Psi. I know that philanthropy is big on your list. Give us just some organizations, and because you always give back. Give us an idea of some of the people who you've had hands on and really contributed to. I know there's so many that you probably can't name them all.
Well, I've tried to do a few things and give to a few organizations. When I lived in Cincinnati, I was actually the president of the Black Lawyers Association there, and really worked with the community there and mentored for several years with several of the inner city schools. And that's something that I'd like to get involved with here in Atlanta. I've been here now a little over 10 years, and
Mm,
I'd like to really get involved in some mentoring and giving back and actually going to some of the local schools here. And I've actually done a job fair with one of the local schools here, and really gave them some information on joining one of the organizations that I worked for when I first came here. And those are things that I like to do. And for
yeah.
me, when we talk about philanthropy, instead of giving money, I like to give back in my time. I like to serve. It's
Yes.
really important, and that's one thing that you and I talked about before, Cynthia, is it's really important for us to serve. Everybody can be great. Not everybody can be great, but everybody can serve, as Martin Luther King said. So for me, it's really important for me to and I think he said everybody can be great because everybody can serve. So I need to repeat that the way that he said it. So
You got it
so
right
for
the
me,
second time there. Yes.
yeah, so for me, it's really important for me to give of myself and give of my time.
So let me ask you, would that be your mission? Would you say that's your mission? That's Bryant Brewer's mission? Um,
Yeah, my mission and my purpose, God has a plan for me. And, for me right now, I'm just really trying to find and figure out what that plan and purpose is. And I'm
wow.
praying about it, staying really faithful in where he leads me and where he wants me to be. Yeah. Very,
Yeah.
very
So
important.
and so actively, your advice to people, like you said, you are pretty established in your career, right? And you're still trying to find that mission, right? You're still trying to find that purpose. And that's okay, you
Always.
say, right?
Always, always. Yeah, because at the end of the day, and we may have a plan or we may have a purpose, but we have to pray and hope that our plan and our purpose lines up with the plan and purpose that God has for our lives. Because he has his own plan, and we have to make sure that what we're praying for aligns with what he has for us. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, if you're just joining me, I am talking right now with oh my God, the esteemed, I guess he's an attorney, head of legal, global corporate executive, and vice president of legal and corporate secretary at Hardinge Inc. It has been an amazing conversation. I have to ask you, and like I said, I know you're continuously working wonderfully, but those people who want to reach out and touch you. You might can't touch them, but maybe possibly they're looking for a mentor, say in this career, maybe outside of it. How do we like get in contact with you? Are you open to those things?
Oh, definitely. individuals can reach out to me at any time. Mentoring is really important because, I, starting early in my career, I had hoped and wished for a mentor, someone that I could walk with and talk with through
Mm,
that process. Because when you're early and you're working on practicing law, that's why they call it, quote unquote, the practice of law. You're starting early. You haven't really touched those major cases that people talk about on the radio all the time, saying that they're making millions of dollars for their clients, but you don't really know or understand what you need to do as far as learning how to deal with and work with those clients. Because once again, I go back into law school. Law school teaches you how to practice law, but it doesn't teach you how to work in the area of learning the law and the legal profession. So for
mm.
me, if I can help anybody in any way, they can always reach out to me through my email at work, or they can give me a call, either or.
Do you mind giving us that email right here on Doing the Most?
I think my email address, I have to think about
Uh-oh.
it because I
I'm
never
so
email
sorry. So
myself.
we can go to hardingeinc though.com, right?
You can definitely do that. But I always, let me see. Let me look at let me look here and I can tell you exactly what it is.
And that's fine if you can't listen. If you are watching and you're listening right now, if you would just go to hardinge inc.com, you will see Bryant Brewer's picture, and you will see also how to reach out to him also. Because I can imagine, like I said, I know that you are like so like you are called in many directions. So it's not that you're ignoring them, is that it, right?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. I work on several things every day, from contract reviews to compliance issues to litigation, employee relations issues. I do it all.
Hmm.
I handle everything for the company.
I have to throw this in there, Brian. I have to throw this in there. When was there a time that you were so nervous in litigating?
The first time I can't even can say that I'm not even I won't even say that this is not a question to me, because it was the first time I tried a case before a jury, and I did that in Ohio, and I'll never forget it, standing in front of that jury and asking questions in voir dire, trying to make sure that I get questions out and get jurors off the potential panel that I didn't want to be on the panel, and my client wouldn't want to be on the panel. That was probably the most nervous that I've ever been in litigating. Now, the most nervous that I've ever actually been is, and see, you got me going all the way back now, is the night before I took the bar exam,
Wow.
my first day of the bar exam. Yeah. So I'm sitting in my hotel room, Cynthia, and I had studied, and this was before cell phones.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Okay.
So um, I'm sitting in my hotel room in Columbus, Ohio, and I am having butterflies that are just wearing me down, wearing me down. And I called my dad. I called my dad and I said, I don't think I can do this, Daddy. I don't think I'll do this. And I started crying.
Hmm.
I was crying like a baby.
Yeah.
And he said, well, now the Lord wouldn't bring you this far to just leave you here, right? And
Absolutely.
he settled me down, and we prayed and we prayed. And then I got off the phone with him and I prayed some more.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then went in that Tuesday and took the first day. And you know what? The one thing that I prayed for, and this is a great thing. The one thing that I prayed for is I asked the Lord for peace, so that when I go in there, just give me a sign of peace to help me get through this.
Yes.
I sat down for that exam. The first question on the exam was, I'll never forget it, a criminal law question, one that I had studied and listened on my tapes on driving to Columbus the day before. And you're talking about peace. I was so relaxed. I was so relaxed. I was like,
Yes.
when I saw that question, I was like, thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Well, listen, guys, Bryant, I know, like I said, I know you don't have much time. I know we are wrapping up on our agreed time. Again, thank you so very much. Guys, once again, this has been attorney Bryant Brewer with Hardinge Inc. Bryant, I have one thing that I always like to say, especially in the middle of Black History Month, 365 days of the year. Bryant, you are the one who is doing the most.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm trying my best to live right and do exactly what the Lord has for me to do. And I'm looking forward to continue things and continue working in this area.
Very good. Love you so very much and continue to shine.
Hey, thank you so much. Love you too. I'll
Thank
talk
you.
to you soon.
Come on in here. Let's get this doing the most in action. So every show, we got to walk away with something that we're thinking, something that we can take with us, a tool, right? That can just help us get us through the next day, the next week, the next year, or whenever it is, right? So today I want to talk to you about chasing, chasing. That's what it is, chasing. Don't chase things that's not chasing you. Don't try to run after things that are running away, that are elusive, that won't come to you. Meanwhile, the things that are chasing you and opening doors for you, you're like, I don't want that. I don't want that door. The door is sitting there wide open. And you're saying, that's not what I want. I want to do something different. Meanwhile, whatever it is that you're chasing and you're wanting, it's evading you. It's evading you because it ain't for you. Chase the things that are chasing you. So if it's coming at you, you need to turn around and go back at it, right? It's trying to get to you and you need to be trying to get to it, okay? So don't chase things that are running away from you. Don't chase. Stand still. Be still. Accept those things that are coming toward you, okay? Say it. I am accepting the things that are chasing me. I am accepting. I am receiving those things that are chasing me. Write it down. Say it. Say it. Write it. Do the most. Next time.